started off with some good putts. Drives looked pretty controlled and good on the first 6, 7 holes. I like to acknowledge like how I'm feeling. Like I don't have focus. I'm getting warm, getting hot. I'm starting to like rush. Let's slow down, go over the basics. Trust your shots, and I just try to repeat sort of a positive energy to myself. And that's only the best thing you can do, really, is trying to get into a little bit more positive mindset. For me, I would like to just have a little bit more focus on the back nine tomorrow.
Got a great history here, so that's awesome. Yeah, it seems to fit my style, and I'm a math guy, you know what I mean, which can be a weakness and a strength. And so I guess on this course, it seems to be a strength because I know my game, I know my misses. Super nervous, of course, admittedly, and yeah, just super thankful to be here and just excited to see it unfold.
Definitely my second shot on hole 12. Just threw a little bit long, forced me to, it was the difference between probably a birdie and a double bogey. Maybe my shot selection on hole 2. I've thrown that outside turnover and early release twice and not had success with that, so I might be switching that inside low shot.
It was unreal. Thinking about it yesterday, you know, I was like, just go out there, have fun. You know, I was trying not to be nervous, and then as soon as I hop on hole 1, it was like everything just hit me. I was like, whoa, like, yeah, it hit me right then. Started being a little nervous, but then caught up a little bit and finished pretty solid. Just want to give a big shout out to my family back home. I know they're watching. And to my school for allowing me to miss some classes and come out here and play. So big shout out to Florida College.
Hello and welcome to Round 3 coverage from the 2023 United States Disc Golf Championship presented by Innova. As always, we're here in Rock Hill, South Carolina. It's a little windier today and you're watching JomezPro with Nate Sexton, Jeremy Koling, and Paul Ulibarri.
That was my line, Nate. I'm supposed to talk about the conditions. But yeah, the conditions here are the story leading into the round because it's been perfect weather thus far. Today is when Winthrop really shows its teeth, and the conditions are going to dictate this round. I mean, the aggressive plays going over water, how far do you run your putts? There's OB close to the greens on so many holes, so that's definitely gonna be something that we look at. We're also gonna be looking at Joel Freeman and the way he plays the back nine out here because he has been shredding. But Kyle Klein, guy who we talked about yesterday, 3 consecutive top 10 finishes, including the playoff loss to Macbeth a few years ago. He plays this course so well. But yesterday, I mean, you got to say the story was Sullivan Tipton and the way that he really emerged. I mean, he showed up in a big way in his first situation on a lead card, the big ace on the bamboo hole. And then you have the steady veteran, Bradley Williams, a player who he's kind of like Matty Owen away, where he just is continued to get better over the years. And he's found himself in this situation on lead card. He's going to be comfortable out here today. It's going to be a great round.
Yeah, today we're going to have a slight head right to left wind. And you just got to get over that tree that's laying down.
Stop it.
You can do that. You're going to have yourself a good shot at bird. Let's see what Joel's got for us.
You can see that wind working already as it flips him to the right. He takes a bit of a kick, perhaps, but it's really not a bad result.
Gotta like Joel's chances to battle the wind today. He likes the overstable disc selection and goes with the flex shot quite often.
I love this line.
What a little bank shot.
I think a nice kick. Maybe not. Maybe that took a little off of it.
It might have been a nothing kick because I think he was going to be right, but maybe a similar putt distance in the end.
This isn't a bad play, especially with the wind. It should get there to pin high. That's probably just inside the circle.
It'll be interesting to keep an eye on Sullivan as he is throwing his forehand because he does like to have the touchy, flippy game. As Brad, that is fortunate to be on the other side of that log thing, as he is way off to the right side. But a fortunate kick, and he's got himself about 55 feet. This would be such a big putt to start off with.
You got to be careful with that one. You give it the full go, and they can get squirrely. I've seen a lot of rollaways on this hole.
Yeah, I think this is a good angle right here to see how much slope is on the green, and that putt didn't have much on it.
That's really all you need to know about the windy conditions, though. It didn't look extremely high in that moment as Sully snaps one beautifully, but clearly Joel thinking about the what ifs. When you see a putt come out of a player's hand as good as him, and it's got that lame duck action on it, I think that's a sign of somebody who's a little bit nervous about what could happen.
Gosh, look at the flag ripping there. Hard to miss the putt on the right side. Pushes out left. Kyle unable to take advantage off the bank tee shot.
And now look at the flag.
What happened?
So it's a hard day to read. I mean, you're gonna catch one thing at the tee pad. You're gonna have different action up by the green. It's a good day to be powerful. It's a good day to throw overstable, to throw low, to throw hard, to take the wind out of play as much as possible.
And it's also a good day to have a good spin putt.
Sure.
A good flat, nose not up, nose not down. A good spin putt is going to serve each player a great deal of comfort as they step up to these long putts. I mean, look at Sullivan right there. First hole, just jammed that. Didn't really see the nose down or up. Just really just fought through the wind perfectly. Great start.
You guys see that Ricky Wysocki character right there? 10 under through 14 holes.
It was bound to happen.
What?
This isn't the day to shoot 10 under. No.
It's a day to shoot 12 because he's got a couple more holes to go. Oh my goodness, Ricky!
Not surprised. I mean, he's the guy that does it. Him and Calvin. If they're out of it, watch out for that third round because they'll always somehow find a way to get in that top 10.
Roof skip play coming up. No, this time he controls it a little better. This is perfect.
Didn't look
Nice
like he
layup.
gave it the full on treatment compared to that other one.
I don't think there's any reason to.
Yeah.
That line's just not getting you. I don't even think circle 2 is barely possible, and you'd have to be really risky to achieve that.
This needs to.
This is going towards that out of bounds line left. Yes, and does not get a fortunate bank off the curb.
This is the low angle. Just if it had a little more hyzer, that has a potential to get in maybe mid.
A little more hyzer, maybe a little more height. One of those two. I think you're right, Paul. That was a good width. This right here.
Stop.
Oh, that's so good. That is so good.
Wow.
Perfect nose up control.
That's what you're gonna get today from Bradley. He is a angle master.
Oh, flirting
Kyle
with the line.
Klein, jump putting.
High risk over there. I mean, he was out of bounds for a moment.
Very good.
Plan
No
coming
wind.
together for Sully. Nice play for par. Joel for par as well after the OB.
And off left side. Man, with that, I'm going to call that a break there for Kyle. I mean, that was just a full-on shank. Stays in bounds as Brad is just 15 feet away for the awesome birdie. Not many birdies on the day. Well, 16 players still in the wind able to get this super hard hole. It's
I
pretty
think it was
impressive.
playing a little bit easier today with the tailwind because
Okay,
it
that's-
was
it's a tail.
scooting forward.
That makes sense. But, you know, when you jump putt something like such a routine shot like Kyle just had, if that goes out of bounds, that can throw you off. And that pays dividends over time by not having to pay the price for a mistake like that. Something to keep an eye on as if he looks comfortable, you can maybe attribute it to the fact that he did not just putt out of bounds. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you can go back to yesterday. I feel like he was living on the line the whole
Yes, he
entire round
was.
and getting away with some naughty play.
Sure. I think the competitor in all of us, you know, high-level players, and maybe this is true for anybody, but it is so easy to forget good breaks. And it is so hard to forget bad breaks.
Right.
And you tend to hold on to the bad ones and go, I can't believe that happened. You can get 8 good breaks in a round and you come off the course and kind of go, yeah, you know, I played pretty great. My score was 9 under, and that's about that, you know.
Yeah.
It's so easy to forget about them, but it lets you stay even-keeled, I think
That's
is
right.
what we're trying to say.
Well, with that bogey for Joel, we've got a 3-way tie at the top at 18 under par. Heading into the third hole here, big tee shot. Need to get, well, let's just forget the birdie. I mean, let's just talk about the par play because that's what these guys are going to be playing for in this big wind. You just want to throw a control shot in bounds, then pitch around the corner, and then get up and down from wherever your second shot lands.
Yeah, playing a bit tougher today with a left to right crosswind. Really tough to get it over left and no wind, much less the one they're playing in today. This is just solid.
Yep.
That's it.
Really straight, good distance.
Now, you can play too safe. If you just are pitching straight, if you go too straight, you're actually at a weird angle. So you do have to be pretty committed to the line that you're looking for your second shot. I like where Sullivan's going right here. This is a good angle out in the open.
Yep.
Him and Brad are going to be just fine.
Oh,
It is a little bit of a short run up for as much power as a player like Kyle would like to get on this hole.
is it gonna hook up in front of those trees?
No, it's screaming. And this is going to be tough.
That's
you have
exactly-
a small
yeah.
gap from here. You can't get too aggressive. You're going to have to rely on your third shot a little bit more. You're not going to be able to finish the par on the second shot.
We don't really call Kyle out when we're talking about distance players, but I mean, he's a guy that has a golf line of 550.
Uh-oh.
And you're going to see him and Kyle nearly in the same spot. And those are the places if you're trying to play conservative, you have to avoid going too straight.
I think the mistake from where they are is being too aggressive now, though. Now I think you need to play for potentially even the bottom of the ditch and count on your ability.
It's not hard to
swing
get
one
up and down
around.
from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're exactly right. Don't even think about putting yourself 75 feet away where you can make some sort of hero putt. Just get around the mandatory.
I kind of like the hero play.
Speaking of heroes, I'm obligated to shout out one Ben Calloway, who I played with, who birdied 1, 2, and 3. And I don't know that anyone has done that yet.
Sheesh. Did he get 14 through 18?
He did not.
Oh. That's a shame.
I won't say. I don't want to spoil it. Maybe he did. Thumb roller again. The count continues to go up. So this is aggressive. Is it worth it?
Yes,
It's okay.
it needs to sit.
See, this is risky.
I don't like this spot here. This is like too short of a shot to get the shape that you need around the little. Yeah, it's going to be touchy. Not impossible, but touchy.
I think he's going to be fine, but I tend to agree I just think it's a little too aggressive. I think that shot isn't that far with our new mandatory rules. It's not that far from potentially wrapping back and crossing that plane.
Sure.
That's the thing you really would need to avoid. But I think he's going to be okay.
Well,
Brad?
I think we just saw how tricky it is with Brad leaving it short
And Kyle,
right there.
exactly what you need to do there for Kyle. He's going to secure the par. Sully doing the same. That's going to sit down. So he's got a forehand. Okay, so he's fine.
Yeah, I don't know why you guys are saying this is tricky.
Well, if he's about 20 feet right of there, and it's kind of hard to tell from that camera angle where exactly he was. But if you're 20 feet right, it is kind of tricky.
Yes.
And Brad, unfortunately, unable to get up and down for the par, so he will be dropping his shot. If you're going to call out Ben Calloway, we also got to call out the only other player in the field to get the birdie today, and that is Nick Newton.
How far was the putt?
Well, Ben was, they're saying UDISC at somewhere between 44 and 55, whereas Nick Newton was actually inside the circle at 27 feet. So that's a hard thing to do.
I would say Ben was 27.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. $18, $18, $18. 3 at the top. Looking at hole 4, par 3, 299, that single mandatory tree on the left side forces players up the tunnel. There is an option to throw a forehand flex, but I don't think we'll see it from these guys. I think up the middle is going to be the play, whether forehand or backhand.
And this kind of continuing the thought that I was talking about on hole 1, seeing Sully in his forehand flip-up game so hard to do in the wind on this tight tunnel. Not enough space left to right to work with.
And it was extremely windy on this
Yeah.
hole. I mean,
Oh
this
my
is
gosh.
pretty unprotected. For a tunnel shot, generally, if you're throwing a tunnel shot, you're actually in the woods. This one, no. You're next to a field and a lake, and the wind is ripping across. So it's a hard thing to play. You're trying to hit this delicate line, flippy disc, prevailing crosswind.
I would like this hole a lot more, I think, as a player, if the woods continued on both sides of this gap and it was just a really tight gap that was found in the woods. But it feels so awkward having this big open space left. And like you're saying, the exposure to the wind is just punishing all of these players right here. It's just virtually no way to get all the way up that fairway with the disc that you'd like to throw.
Looked like Kyle got through again today. Yesterday he got through, made the long putt. Kind of pulls it to the right, gets through. I don't know how far he is, but he's going to have a look.
Great shot from Bradley there. You can see how tricky this can be. Sullivan's got to sneak this around and try to make it, apparently.
Ooh, sit down.
Going to have a little bit of work left, about 25 feet, maybe potentially back into a pretty stiff headwind.
Hopefully he doesn't have any memories of yesterday's missed putt inside the circle on this hole. That was a nice little delicate turnover putt from Kyle. Just barely off to the left side.
Looks like Joel has... Oh, look at that flag. Joel has
He's
no chance.
putting into a hurricane. I mean, goodness gracious. That is just ripping.
It's one that you're like, I can make it, I can get it chain high, and then it's just the wind doesn't stop, and it steals all confidence from you. Tipton, like his putt.
Yes.
Love his putt. Solid on one. Great putt to fight through the wind. A lot of pace. Very flat, committed.
I worry about this guy's putt in the wind. The push putt in the wind, historically, tough to control.
And Kyle also likes that from 30 to 30, well, from outside of 27 feet, we'll call it. He likes a lot of that hyzer, and that gets trickier in the wind as well. Were the conditions pretty consistent? Or did it actually, for one of the few times ever, actually get harder for the lead card? Or was it blowing like this for you guys earlier in the day?
I think it was pretty windy for everybody, but it didn't seem to let up a whole lot. And I wasn't at the course when the lead card finished, so I can't speak to that. But as long as I was there, it was still staying fairly windy, even an hour or so after my round.
Well, howdy doody. Hole 5 is now the hardest hole on the course, and that is no surprise. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. This hole was getting kind of eaten up by all the players because it's been pretty calm. But as soon as you introduce some wind, and you're going to have 1,025 feet of it here, makes water hazard just 10 times more likely.
This looks great. Got flat at the top. Now you got to watch for this blowing too far right. It doesn't.
I don't think you could put a trickier wind to go over the water with any shot. This head kind of crosswind, like you can't throw any sort of hyzer. It's just gonna, as far as a righty, it's just gonna lift into oblivion.
And the forehand doesn't like it either.
No.
It wants to flip.
So you got to throw a flex, but that drops. So it's actually why it's the hardest hole. It's not any of these shots. These shots are just gonna go over there, get in the fairway somewhere.
But look at this lift. This is the thing I'm scared of.
Wow.
That was what I saw. Oh, good roll. That's what I saw happening here, is that you would throw the forehand that a lot of players go with here, and then it would start to climb, and OB right, a real risk here.
Yeah. It's difficult because some players like to go with the overstable anhyzer out of the hand with the forehand, but you don't really want to trust that into the headwind either because that can just stay over.
Yeah, that's a no-no on this hole. Anything anhyzer, call the cops.
Yeah. Calm day. You're fine.
Yeah, you get away with it.
Brad with a nice move here.
See, but that's up the hill, and
Yeah.
that, if it went far enough, is actually a very tight fairway to the pin.
And good commitment for Joel to keep that low, but that is going to be pretty far away from the green.
I like that better, though, almost than where Brad is,
Okay.
because he can fit it out over to the right a bit more.
Push it over
Yeah.
safe land, not throw a turnover.
Exactly.
Kyle, ooh, risky shot here. I think he even hit a little bit of something right out of his hand, but the result
So good.
is amazing. How wide? Does Sully go low here underneath the tree? Yes. Okay. Great commitment on that line. Great disc selection,
Really good.
stability. That's exactly what you want to do after the first 2 shots on 5.
Okay, overstable disc. Expect nice commitment here.
It got on Anheuser. I like that, but this could go deep very easily.
Oh, that's fine. I think he's going to love that result.
Yeah.
From that far, that's great. I mean, more than likely a layup from there, but 5 today is getting 0.59 strokes on the field.
This is flipping a little bit too much.
But that's nice.
But it's a cross.
I like that play.
Similar.
Has to put it on Anheuser.
And that's just super safe and
Yep.
I think smart.
Yep.
That the both of those guys not messing around with trying to get close, just taking the big number out of play. And it looks like Sully's going to do the same thing, just safety first. Way out to the right.
You can come out of here all pars for your card. Really good.
Wow, a little forehand.
How much touch can you have, son?
You would see most people go to the spin putter, little jump putt from there. But yeah, still comfortable. Just throwing the off speed.
And you're not going to see anyone getting too aggressive. Even Brad. Wow.
Surprises me.
What is that about?
That surprises me.
Windy. And putt lands on hyzer. You know, if the putt lands on hyzer, pops up, it's gone.
Yeah.
You put it on Anheuser, drops.
I think you have done something right on this hole if you are in the bullseye and you haven't missed a putt yet. Like these guys have just laid themselves up. They've played it perfectly. Low stress. You don't want to be messing around with a 28-footer.
Not on the hardest hole.
Not today. Not on this green.
They're gaining strokes on the field with a par there.
Let's see here. We got 13 players with a birdie, but only 2 of those players. Well, let's say everyone was in the circle at birdie besides 2 players. And I'd just say that's impressive that people are making putts from nearly 40 feet on that hole. I mean, it's so hard to run anything if you're not so close.
Hole 6, par 3, 371. All OBs go to that drop spot where you putt directly at the water.
Right to left crosswind. Very tough. Gotta get it really wide.
And lower than that, probably.
A little.
Ollie, that
I
doesn't-
like it if it gets through.
It's very similar to what he
I
did
like
in round 2, just even less committed. He was so close to getting it right yesterday.
Float. No. Oh, tip gone. Fishes. How overstable is it?
I like this.
This looks like exactly the right amount overstable.
Wow.
Lots of like there.
One more look at Kyle Klein. Which just like a slight Anheuser. So you know this disc is really mean because he's throwing hard and this thing's hooking back with a big skip, curling right into the bullseye.
Joel trying the same line, but this is short.
Yeah, it does look short.
If he doesn't get lucky, that's in the water. Yeah. Just didn't quite commit to that pace. It's tough because there is OB long, and it's not that long either. It's only about 30 feet long, so you can't just rip it. You have to be very touchy with that shot. So hard to do.
Nice and flat.
I like it.
Does it have the energy? Not quite to get to the sand, so it'll be a little bit of a tester, but that's a good drive.
Well, normally your most overstable disc is about a 9-speed, as Sully has a no win, though.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Maybe more of a layup, really. I don't know. Joel steps up quickly.
Yep.
And cashes it.
What I was going to say is usually like a 9-speed. That's a tough one to throw here with this distance. And then you have your fast discs, and if you turn that over at all, 370 is nothing.
Yeah, this is not a comfortable
disc.
place to throw a fast disc, in my opinion. Like a true distance driver. It's just too much skip, too much going on.
Brad for the birdie. Perfect.
I think they got kind of lucky with a nice little lull right there.
Yes.
Those are just going to come and go all throughout the round. And when it happens, it's just, you never really quite know.
Unless you're there.
Another look at Bradley's putt as we check out the scores. Kyle Klein holds a 1-shot lead over Joel.
Big putt for Joel. All right, hole 7, par 3, 284, bamboo hole. Pretty cut and dry. Go through this gap, and you'll have a chance at birdie. If you miss it, if you miss the whole structure, you deserve a bogey.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you deserve a par. You get like the sides.
Yeah.
So I think it's a well-designed hole.
Yeah,
It's fantastic.
It's beautiful too. Look at those
Yeah, and
flowers.
they beautified it over the last couple of days. It was not there round 1.
Oh my gosh, Kyle, stop.
nice. Turn
So
over.
good.
Committed down that left side, just knowing the disc perfectly.
Really trusting the Anheuser. And that is just keeps turning. But
Yeah,
I
with
think
that much height, you're hoping to get bamboozled. You don't want to go up and over.
I like that, bamboozled.
Joel trying to trust that turn. Maybe trying to keep that aimed at the left gate. Came out a little bit early, perhaps.
Sully with the ace here yesterday with this same disc. See if he can get this thing to fly true again. He came over the top with a little flex.
Oh, that looks very similar,
It
Nate.
sure does.
Just hooked up a bit sooner than yesterday, but look at that. Little rollback. He's got this hole dialed.
I've seen so many attempts from this exact spot and so many chain outs. When are we going to get a little ching-a-ling?
We got one more chance today.
Okay. Ching-a-ling-a-ling.
It's good effort.
Joel still without a birdie. And Kyle off the pole. A little bit too much recoil for comfort, but the birdie is secured. And he's got a couple of them in a row now. Sully is now 4 under in the first 3 rounds on hole 7.
That is getting it done.
And what was it? It was hole 14? Or after hole 13 yesterday, Joel had a 5-shot lead.
Yeah.
And since then, Kyle's just done nothing but storm his way to a 2-shot lead right now.
with just a 2 under par today.
Exactly, and that's enough.
That's pretty crazy.
And if you can get one or even both of these holes with 8 and 9 to go, if Kyle were able to finish at 4 under in the front 9, that would be a fantastic score in these conditions.
Any conditions. 4 is a great spot to be. Little 2-shot par 4 here. He flips it over. Does this have enough?
Oh, wow. That is going to work. But, man, he was barely hanging on that left side.
In the end, it's huge. I mean, that flip is just eating up distance. Scary, but he's going to love that spot.
The angle for the forehand from there is fantastic.
This is going to go pretty far right, but should stop pretty easily before the hazard.
Brad very far right, but with enough stability to hit the stump and roll back a little bit.
Tough roller spot from there. He's going to have to cut it from right to left or throw a sidearm, which is even scarier, especially with the wind. Wind tends to drop it if you throw any anhyzer, which is what you need coming into this green.
And that'll do. 4 for 4 going the wide forehand play.
It is going forehand.
This is long. I'm not sure you can get all the way to the basket from here. It doesn't even really look like he's trying to be honest.
Oh.
Unless it does a fancy roll. That's not that fancy. That's pretty ho-hum roll, to be honest.
See, and that's that little Annie. Comes straight.
You do have to keep it low, but that's going to be a mistake. It's going to be tough up and down for Joel. Kind of an awkward distance. This one looks pretty good.
Oh, wow.
No!
Get up there.
How on earth did that occur? That is crazy. And Kyle, can he get it underneath? It just hits a little bit, unfortunately. That was looking pretty good.
Yeah, so now you're looking for a big high skip out of this shot, I think.
You just sit down. Oh.
See, I don't like the trying to fly it the entire way.
You have to get it down.
I like the skip to slow it down a little bit, though you do introduce a little more rollaway risk. He kind of tried to push it all the way there.
Ooh, Kyle.
Got to work on that big wide straddle from there, I think.
These guys have some touch, don't they?
Yeah, they're liking the little 90-foot forehand today.
All right, Sully's trying to figure out how is he going to play this one.
So cringe. I feel like that's poison ivy or oak.
Oh, I saw somebody play from here, and it was all fire ants in there when they came down.
Oh, no.
It wasn't this year. Hopefully that nest is gone.
And that would have been a pretty fun putt to replay throughout the years, but unfortunately Sullivan is wide right.
For par.
That didn't look good at all.
Slow start for Joel.
A couple over par now. This 4 par for Kyle, and he's going to create more separation between himself and Joel.
Good old knee upside downer. Don't see that often.
It's a Joel special.
I don't understand how a guy like Sully, who's got kind of long hair in the front, can play in the wind like this. It's just going to be constantly like blowing in his eyes. Like that's why you need a hat. That's why I wear hats, is because my long flowing hair just always gets in my eyes.
Tell that to Joel. His hair steps out of place for 1 quick second right on the follow through, and then it snaps back home.
Oh my goodness.
Hole 9, par 3, 362. A lot of OB here, especially take note of that line just long of the basket. If you do get a little aggressive, easy to go out the back. If you go out of bounds, you go to a nearly impossible putt. So it's a very likely bogey, but just a bogey. Almost impossible to double bogey this hole, I would say.
And like all rounds, 9 and 10 are going to remain the 2 easiest holes. This being the second easiest.
What a shot.
Maybe no hole has seen more changes throughout the years than hole 9.
Yeah, I think that's for sure true. We've seen a bunch, at least 5. I can think of 5 iterations.
I think I've got you. I mean, I think I can think of 6 or 7.
Oh, that's a big lift. Does it slow down?
Yes. There's a little bit more space deep and right. But if you're right by the pin, very difficult to go long and stay in bounds.
I like the width. Does it slow down?
Oh, yeah.
I hate the width. Wow.
Yeah, it didn't really swing.
That fooled me too. Joel looking to get things going here.
A little bit lower line. Does this one swing? Not really.
Yeah, wow, that really stayed out there.
What did Kyle know that nobody else knew? Because he found a way to work it way back to the left.
Brad from 50 plus.
Ooh.
Really good effort. Perfect height.
Yeah, it just sat there going past the basket.
Joel still looking to get on the board. And also really great height on the elevated basket, but it's wide right. How aggressive does Sully get here? It's been a couple good putts so far. Oh my goodness, another zipper.
Nice.
Look at that jumper.
Another look. So clean.
Oh, and that's kind of like a,
wow.
Whoa, I didn't see that on the first angle.
Dancing.
Wow. It's kind of like he loads it up kind of like Kyle does with that hyzer, but it's just a little bit less left or right to left movement on his putt. He's a little bit more direct with it. But I see shades of that deep C2 style putt that Kyle has too. I don't know if you guys are seeing it too, but that's just what I see.
All I can do is think about Kyle's putt yesterday through that tree.
Oh, that was so sweet. That's a letter and horse all day, every day. And what a front 9 for Kyle. Able to pick up one of the last 2, but that's going to 3 under. That's enough to give him some strokes going in to the back 9 in moving day.
Yeah, I think that shows us how difficult the course is playing. I mean, look down the line. There's a 7 from Heimberg.
Wysocki home with the 10.
Home with the 10.
And that fire emoji is likely to stick. I don't see anybody getting past that number. That's an incredible score.
Yeah, the best Calvin can do is get to 8 under with a birdie on 18.
Yeah, I mean, there's a 7 and then there's 5s.
Yeah,
a lot of
there's
over,
a lot of
ones.
A lot of pluses.
Unders,
10 under
evens.
could be the hot round on a calm day. That 10 under is for sure sticking. I mean, I don't even know if... I guess Kyle could go 7 down on the back 9, but in this wind, it's hard to imagine something like that happening. But that's just an incredible round for Ricky, getting himself back into contention. But Kyle Klein kind of creating a little bit of separation. 2 shots right now over Sully. Sully's still sticking in there. Actually, the whole lead card's still in it.
Things are going to get tougher on the back 9. Come back and join us for round 3 coverage.